Welcome back, everyone. If you are a driver living anywhere across the United Kingdom, you need to pay very close attention to what I am about to share with you today, because over the past several days, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, commonly known as the DVLA, has quietly introduced three major rule changes that are now fully operational and being actively enforced throughout England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. These are not future proposals, they are not ideas being debated in Parliament, and they are certainly not recommendations that might be implemented at some later date. These changes are already live, they are already affecting motorists right across the country, and countless drivers are being caught out simply because they had no idea the rules had been updated. What makes the situation even more concerning is that many of the people most affected by these new regulations are older drivers, retirees, and pensioners, who may not have received adequate notice about these significant changes to how driving licenses are now being managed and enforced. If you are new to this channel, my name is associated with UK Pension Pro, and this is the place where we break down everything you need to know about pensions, benefits, government support, and important changes that affect everyday people across the United Kingdom. Whether you are already receiving your state pension, claiming disability benefits like personal independence payment or employment and support allowance, or simply trying to navigate the increasingly complex world of government support, this channel is designed to help you stay informed and protected. We understand that many seniors across the UK are facing genuine financial hardship, struggling to make ends meet on limited pension income while dealing with rising costs for energy, food, housing, and transportation. That is why we work hard to bring you timely updates that can genuinely make a difference in your daily life, helping you avoid unnecessary penalties, claim the support you are entitled to, and stay on the right side of regulations that seem to change more frequently than ever before. Now, returning to these critical DVLA updates, let me explain exactly what has changed and why it matters so much, particularly if you are a pensioner or an older driver. The first major change relates to significantly tougher license and identity verification procedures. The DVLA has upgraded its systems to cross-reference driving license records with other government databases far more frequently and with much greater speed than before. This means that any discrepancy in your personal details, whether it involves your name, your current address, or the status of your license, can now be flagged almost instantaneously. Drivers who have moved home, perhaps to a smaller property, to reduce costs during retirement, or who have changed their name through marriage, divorce, or any other circumstance, and failed to update their DVLA records, are now extremely vulnerable to having their license status questioned. In some situations, this can result in immediate temporary restrictions being placed on your license while investigations are carried out, leaving you unable to drive legally until matters are resolved. The second major change involves a complete shift in how enforcement priorities operate on our roads. Police officers conducting roadside checks now have real-time access to DVLA systems, meaning they can instantly see any flags on your license, medical markers that have been recorded, renewal issues that remain outstanding, and any restrictions that may apply to your driving privileges. This represents a dramatic increase in enforcement capability, and it means that drivers with expired licenses, unresolved restrictions, or any form of incorrect records are far more likely to be stopped and questioned. Even minor inconsistencies in your records can now prompt additional investigations, and the old days of hoping that small errors might go unnoticed are well and truly over. For many pensioners who rely on their vehicles for essential activities like attending medical appointments, collecting prescriptions, visiting family members, or simply doing the weekly shopping, losing the ability to drive even temporarily can have devastating consequences for independence and quality of life. The third significant change, and this one is particularly important for anyone over the age of 70, involves the complete removal of any flexibility around license renewals. Previously, some drivers benefited from informal grace periods, meaning that even if their license expired, there was often a short window where enforcement action was unlikely while renewal paperwork was being processed. That flexibility has now been entirely eliminated. If your license expires and you have not renewed it on time, enforcement action can commence immediately without any period of tolerance. This is absolutely critical information for drivers age 70 and over who are legally required to renew their driving license every 3 years rather than the standard 10-year period that applies to younger motorists. Driving with an expired license, even if you genuinely did not realize it had lapsed, can result in significant fines and may completely invalidate your motor insurance coverage, leaving you personally liable for potentially enormous costs if you are involved in any kind of accident. Medical declarations are also now being scrutinized with far greater intensity than ever before. Any health condition that could potentially affect your vision, your awareness, your reaction time, or your consciousness must be reported to the DVLA without delay. This includes conditions like diabetes, epilepsy, heart problems, sleep disorders, and many other health issues that become more common as we age. The DVLA is now cross-checking medical information more efficiently, working with other healthcare databases to identify conditions that should have been reported but were not. Failing to declare a relevant medical condition is treated with the same seriousness as providing deliberately false information, and the consequences can include penalties, formal reviews of your fitness to drive, or even complete withdrawal of your license. Many older drivers are simply unaware that conditions they consider minor or well-controlled still need to be reported, and this lack of awareness is leading to serious problems for people who have been driving safely for decades. For seniors living on UK state pensions, these new enforcement measures create an additional layer of worry during what are already incredibly challenging times. The full new state pension currently provides around £221 per week, while many people on the basic state pension receive even less, and these amounts are simply not keeping pace with the rising cost of living that has made life so difficult for millions of households across the country. Pensioners who are already struggling to afford their energy bills, particularly during the cold winter months, their food shopping, their council tax, and other essential expenses now face the additional stress of ensuring their driving documentation is completely accurate and up to date to avoid potentially crippling fines. The loss of winter fuel payments for many pensioners following recent government changes has made heating homes during the colder months even more difficult, with many elderly people facing impossible choices between staying warm and buying adequate food. If you are a pensioner experiencing financial hardship, there are several government programs and benefits that you may be entitled to claim that could provide vital additional support. Personal Independence Payment, commonly known as PIP, is available to people with long-term health conditions or disabilities who need help with daily living activities or getting around, and this benefit is not means-tested, meaning it is available regardless of your income or savings. Employment and Support Allowance, known as ESA, provides support if you are unable to work due to illness or disability, and the support group rate can provide significant additional income for those with the most serious conditions. Attendance allowance is another important benefit specifically for people over state pension age who have care needs due to physical or mental disabilities, and like PIP, it is not affected by your income or savings levels. Pension credit is particularly important for those on lower incomes, as it can top up your weekly income and also act as a gateway to other benefits, including help with housing costs, council tax reductions, and NHS costs, including dental treatment and glasses. Cost of living payments have been introduced by the government to help those on means-tested benefits cope with increased expenses, and if you receive qualifying benefits, you may be entitled to additional payments that are made automatically without needing to apply. The Warm Home Discount Scheme provides a one-off reduction on electricity bills for eligible pensioners and those on certain benefits, which can make a real difference during the expensive winter heating season. Housing benefit or the housing element of universal credit can help with rent payments, while various local council schemes provide additional support, including emergency payments, food bank vouchers, and help with utility arrears for those in the most desperate circumstances. The impact of these DVLA changes on insurance coverage deserves particular attention because the consequences can be financially catastrophic. Driving with an expired, restricted, or incorrectly recorded license can immediately invalidate your motor insurance policy completely. If you are involved in an accident while technically uninsured due to license problems, your insurer may refuse to pay out any claim, even if the accident was entirely the other driver's fault. You could find yourself personally liable for vehicle repairs, medical costs, property damage, and legal fees that could run into tens of thousands of pounds, money that most pensioners simply do not have available. With the tighter DVLA verification systems now actively checking records, this risk has become significantly more real and more immediate than at any time in the past. What you should do right now is take immediate action to protect yourself and your driving privileges. Check your license expiry date today, confirm that your address is recorded correctly, and make absolutely certain that all required medical information has been properly declared to the DVLA. If a renewal is approaching or overdue, complete it immediately without any further delay. These simple steps can prevent fines that could devastate your limited budget. Avoid license suspension that would end your independence and protect you from insurance complications that could prove financially ruinous. Do not wait until you are stopped by police officers at the roadside, because by that point it is already far too late to correct problems that should have been addressed in advance. Thank you for watching today, and if you found this information valuable, please like this video, subscribe to UK Pension Pro, and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates that could affect your finances, your benefits, and your daily life as a UK pensioner or someone navigating the benefits system.